Hello, and welcome to Weed and Grub.
This is our first time back in studio since
July.
Oh, wow.
So I feel like I'm bursting with topics, and I also feel like I miss this because I need something every week to not only look forward to, but to have discipline about.
Yep.
And so being here right now for me is like, oh my God, thank God. I haven't talked to anyone since I got back. You know?
You're also on crazy adventures, right? So you want to like decompress, like you want to get it out and be like, look at all the adventures that I went on in these 2 months.
Yeah, my dream would be if I could be the guest on this one and you could just ask me how my time was.
So, Mike, how's everything going?
Yeah, how was your time?
Oh my gosh.
You want to talk about Amsterdam?
No, yes, of course.
Tell us about Amsterdam. Mike, was that
Yeah.
good? Did you take some mushrooms in Amsterdam?
I did. I also took mushrooms with our guest. And that's a good transition.
Welcome for joining me on the trip.
It was awesome. Also, our guest this week, your name is Jenny.
Hi, I'm Jenny Zigrino. I'm a comedian.
Really good comedian.
Thank you.
Really good hang.
Fantastic comedian.
Thank you.
Yep.
I think I'm also a fun hang. We did mushrooms at my home in the desert. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I want to hear everything about it.
I will once you guys link the Airbnb link.
Do you want us to put that in our show notes?
Of course I do, because it's been slow. It's like inflation. It's all bad. Everything's bad. Also, desert people are so fucking weird. Anyways, I could go at lengths about the craziness of the desert.
Where I want to start, I would love to start with desert people are so fucking weird.
Desert people are so fucking weird.
Are they like the desert people that I'm thinking of where they wear like a lot of hats and they're very dusty and they have no shoes?
Okay, everyone is dusty. I'm going to say
Yes.
that off the bat. Everyone is caked in a small layer of dust, which is fine. Everything is covered in dust. I've had people be like, your house is dusty. I'm like, you're in the fucking desert.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want?
Yeah.
Like, you just breathe and dust is in there.
Are they also surprised that it's hot?
They do get surprised. They're like, it's so hot.
So hot and
It's a
dusty.
desert.
What are you talking about?
So, desert people are people who move to like the desert are a very specific type of people, right? Usually, like you get like an artist mix, right? Like artists and weirdos being like, I've come here to create pieces of art and na. And then you get people who are like, I've come out here to not be in society and exist by myself, surrounded by trash piles. Which is another type of desert person.
Right. The apocalyptic
one.
Right.
Then you have the very conservative nightmare people of the desert.
Okay.
And then you just
they're
kind of
like this. Now I have a place for my Nazi flag.
Exactly. They're like, I can fly it free. And then you also have like the libertarian, like, I don't really give a shit what you do. Just leave me and my horses alone.
Right.
Also, don't have horses in the desert. It's so hot.
That's
What
great.
are
It's
you
like having a
doing?
husky in LA. What are you doing? They're not meant to be here.
Also, there's, I don't know if I should say it. Okay, so there also a lot of people who have who are criminals will go live in the desert because they're not allowed really to live within 100 feet of things.
Okay.
Schoolyards.
Yeah, mostly
Right.
schoolyards.
Mm-hmm.
Cemeteries.
Cemeteries. I guess cemeteries.
Fucking
But truly, the
kids
whole
and dead
desert is
people.
a cemetery, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's outlaw vibes, bunkers full of guns.
Yeah. And then also now, too, it's like artists and influencers
Whoa.
are a huge desert vibe right now.
Okay.
And like, because they're all like, check out this homestead I'm making.
Okay. Is
So-
that the kind of the van life type influencer?
A lot of van life people, a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people like, so the Wonder Valley is full of all these 400 square foot homesteads that during the 40s, the government was like, hey, you can have this 5 acres for free. Just go build a homestead on it in the middle of fucking nothing. So they just like buy these homesteads and then deck them out to be like, check out, I'm an influencer and I'm hot and sexy and I wear a hat. That's it.
A large hat too.
I wear a
right?
large hat. Never worked a day in my life.
Right. Some feathers braided in, maybe.
Oh my God.
Always
the
the feathers.
Yes.
Yes.
The feathers
I'm-
and the beads.
Oh, yep.
Just like a giant dream catcher stuck in your hair.
I am guilty of having feathers put in my hair
No.
a very long time ago. And I thought it looked really great. But yeah,
It probably did look really good.
Until I discovered that a few things that like one, fly fisher people from all over the world were mad about feathers being in hair because there's like less feathers for them to tie flies, evidently.
It sounds like a very big problem in a very small community.
Big feather, man.
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
Feather depletion.
Big feather.
Wow. So wait, Wonder Valley?
So Wonder Valley there's Joshua Tree. Everyone knows Joshua Tree. Then as you go further east, it goes 29 Palms, which is actually that's where I live. I love it. It's great. It's a very cool community that's like coming up of like artistic people and new boutiques are opening up and restaurants and like it's becoming like the next Joshua Tree because Joshua Tree is too expensive and there's no Jack in the Box
right
in Joshua Tree.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go to Wonder Valley, and Wonder Valley is when it starts to get real dicey because then once you pass Wonder Valley, it's like 100 miles of nothing.
Okay.
So and they call it Shallow Valley because you can bury a body there and coyotes will just come and eat it.
Whoa.
Oh, great.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. So
Come
click
to
that
the
link in the bio.
Come to the desert, everybody. Come to my Airbnb.
In Wonder Valley specifically?
No, I'm in 29 Palms.
Oh, so your Airbnb is yes.
And I'm very close to the park. The park's fucking great. We went to the park, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we went. So I host a
giggled my
show
ass
there,
off.
Mm-hmm.
and I bring the comics over, and then we all at night will sneak. You don't sneak, but you can just go into the Joshua Tree National Park, and then we just go to. There's one spot I take everybody. It's got picnic tables. We turn the lights off, and we just look at the stars, and we chill out. We talk about aliens.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And shout out friend of the show, friend in real life, Carmen Morales.
Oh yeah, love
her and
Carmen.
I sat on the picnic table and just did bits about why the Milky Way gets to be so special. Like it was we were talking about how it's such an A-list galaxy, and we cried, laughed
You were
about
crushing.
it.
You crushed it.
Nailed it.
Were you on mushrooms at this point?
Peaking.
The
Yeah.
best.
I think at one point, so I think I took very little. I was like the chaperone of the night. So I was like, I was very happy. Everyone else was having a good time. We were all like sitting and like enjoying the stars. And I think Mateen started playing music and I was just like, God damn it, Mateen.
Dude, yo, on pod, real talk, ruin the vibe. When you start playing like loud music out of a Bluetooth in the middle of the desert under the stars, And
Was
he
it
started
like-
doing bits about it. I don't mind. Like, you can't start doing bits about music. He's like, listen to these lyrics. I was like, you're overtaking
Yeah.
the flow.
So
Oh.
I'm here to
and then
flow.
my friend was very much on mushrooms, and then he started shouting off business ideas. And I just was like, "This is the desert, baby. This is fun times." I mean, how are you guys enjoying it?
That's why we sat alone and just talked
Yeah.
about the world.
Yeah.
Quietly, laughily did that because like I've also been in the pocket where I'm like, I think it's probably more, I've never done cocaine, but I'm sure it's more cocaine energy where you're like, oh man, I'm filled with ideas right now. Where's my
Yeah.
pad? Where's my pen? I don't want to forget about these $1 billion gangbuster business ideas. But man, when Mateen started playing like Michael Jackson and then went in on like doing bits about it, that's a different kind of tripping that I've never really enjoed. I don't
Yeah.
enjoy like stand-up comedy green room tripping.
Sometimes
ever.
I do. Sometimes I really enjoy we were in Mexico, and it was like 3 a.m. Some of us were on acid, some of us were on mushrooms, and it was like maybe 7 of us just doing bits back and forth, and it was so fun, and so like, like the kind of pee laugh where you're like, I'm definitely gonna pee myself, but it's worth it because we're just like, it's just like a ping pong, just going back and forth. It was so great.
I think maybe I should amend that and say, yes, when we're all on the same page and the same flow,
But
in it.
yeah, in the desert when you're looking at the stars and being like, this is so beautiful, and then suddenly you hear very like tinny
Shakira.
You're like, no. Did you guys see Alien? Did we see Aliens that night?
I might be making it up in my mind, but I feel like a shooting star or two or a couple of
Shooting stars,
odd
yes,
lights.
definitely.
Yeah.
I've seen aliens there, like stone sober.
Whoa,
I've
really?
seen like weird UFO shit.
What?
Yeah. Not like not aliens didn't show up and we're like, what's up? But I was with a friend and we were in the desert. It was like winter time. It was November of last year. And we saw some light that we thought was a star, and then it started doing this weird zigzaggy thing, and then it got more intense and more intense. Just like, oh my God. And I remember going to pee, and then I saw it do like this curve around and then like start to come towards us.
Whoa.
And then it like shot off, and I was like, oh my God.
Whoa.
It's nuts.
And did you believe in aliens before?
Oh yeah, I 100% believe
Okay,
in
cool.
aliens.
Right on.
Oh yeah, come on.
I don't
Come
know.
on.
I don't know. Some people are like, when I see it.
I believe in ghosts too.
Are you a ghoster?
Oh, big time ghost fan.
Before we go into ghosts, my last alien question is, aren't you near a naval base as well? Or is it,
An army base?
what do you mean?
Naval base in the
The
desert
naval
would be weird.
base.
Why would that be weird?
Because it's the Navy.
Because they don't have boats in Joshua Tree.
Oh, the Navy is only sea.
Yes,
Correct. Exclusively aquatic.
No, there's no naval base.
Keeping
It's
it
the
in.
Marine base. The Marine base is there. So yes, I definitely think
That's
that
what I was thinking
there's-
of, marine animals.
There's some, yes, of course. Are there whales out there? Yeah, no. The Marine base is there, so I'm definitely sure that they're communicating and doing weird alien shit out there.
Mhm.
100% believe it.
I do too. Because when we did
Mhm.
that show, I did a joke about Biden and a joke about Trump, and half of them were like, that was a great joke about Biden. Half of them were like, that's a great joke about Trump. But all of them were retired
Aliens?
aliens.
Mm.
Yeah, it was crazy. They're all retired aliens.
That's where they
Okay,
go.
I think I did see one alien at a Renaissance fair this year.
Definitely.
So, okay, this is the scene. So we're in a big crowd at the Ren Fair. You guys have been to the Renaissance Pleasure Fair?
Never.
You've never been?
I've seen it in movies though,
It
so
is
I know.
literally all I ever want to talk about is the Ren Fair and
Okay.
like dressing up and cosplay. Here's the thing. I don't call it cosplay because I was dressing up way before it had a fucking word. Okay. And now anime people took it, but whatever. I would dress up all the fucking time. Anyways, so at the Renaissance Pleasure Fair, I was walking and there was a guy in front of me. He had no shirt on.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And he just had a pair of khakis on. And he was walking to where I thought he might have been with the people in front, but not, like they weren't acknowledging him. And the way he was walking was like his hands were out like this and like fists, but he was like slowly just like looking around at everything and kind of floated when he walked. And it was like watching, like he had just beamed in and was like getting used to his human body. Didn't have he was the only person who had no shirt on and khakis. It was so, the vibe off him was so fucking bad and weird. I was like, this guy's definitely an alien.
You are just reminding me of a guy who I think possibly was the only alien I've ever met, which was at a bar, and he came in and sat down next to me and he asked the bartender for a beer, and then he was like, is Corona good? And the bartender like gave him a Corona, and then he went into the bathroom and he came back wearing a different shirt. And he was like kind of like touching his shirt and feeling like I feel like he was experiencing a human form and body and beer for the first time.
Yeah.
And it was shirt related. Yes.
I think they're among us. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Don't look at me. I believe in him. I'm sure I've seen him. I didn't know, but
Yeah.
I'm sure I've seen him. I've definitely that night we saw some cool lights that are,
Yeah.
I don't need to explain them to know
Mhm.
that I saw
Yeah.
them. Yeah. But I have had direct experiences with ghosts, not aliens.
I love it.
Yeah, especially like in the dream world, where like
Ooh.
I remember when my grandpa died, John, and I had a really deep, intense, visceral feeling dream about him,
Yeah.
and I was really shook about it, and so I told my mom about it. I was living at home. I can't remember what age, 45 or so, and I was like, "Hey, this just happened," and she said, "Oh yeah, that happens in our family when people pass away. Other people have dreams about them that are really intense." And I was told, and I'll tell you, that it's the dead trying to contact and make amends as they pass over into the afterlife, whatever that means to you. And so like they're trying to come into the dream world and connect with you one final time to kind of close that loop. And so I don't know if that's true or not, but I definitely...
Did you feel like a loop was closed?
No, because I yelled at him in my dream and then he ran away.
Oh,
I was like, get the
whoa.
fuck out of here, because I was so scared. And it was pretty grotesque and his face was all contorted and I knew it was him, but it didn't look like him.
Oh my God.
And it was very fuzzy around the edges. And so I yelled at him and I got scared and just like attacked. And then that's the last dream I've ever had about him. So
Well, yeah, I wouldn't come back either.
Yeah.
That was my grandson's response. I'd be like, wow, what a doofus.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's cool.
It was intense, and it was intense in a really good way.
Yeah. I've had a couple weird psychic things happen. Even like yesterday, I was listening to, because I'm studying tarot and like trying to get into it. I was listening to a YouTube about it, and then I heard a something fall in my bedroom, and I went in, and one of my tarot decks had fallen off the shelf and was just on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
So I did a reading about, so I did what I was like, okay, clearly like something wants me to do a reading. So I did like a little Celtic cross reading, and it was kind of like, it's kind of nice. It was like what I actually did need to hear at that moment. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to take this at whatever. Someone can be like, oh, it just fucking slipped. Who cares? Or not. Like, who cares? So I've had stuff like that happen. I've seen my uncle before, and
In this reality?
yeah, I was meditating during what's it called? Acupuncture. And as I was meditating, I was like floating over this blue ocean. He appeared and he looked like really happy, and like I couldn't hear him, but he was like kind of smiling and waving and like in a really good mood. And then he like disappeared. I told my dad about it, and he's like, oh, that's crazy, because I had been praying to him to have him give a sign that like he was okay. And I was like, oh, well, okay. I think that's him, because it was really weird that he just showed up.
Mm-hmm.
And he hasn't showed up since, so I think he's fine.
Yeah. You're making me think about so many things. Like people appearing to you in dreams to let you know that they're okay is something that I've had experience with, and I think that's great. It's like, so
what if they're like, I'm not okay?
Like, get me out of here. I'm
This
stuck in
sucks. I
purgatory.
don't like it.
They climb into your mouth.
No.
For sure.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
I think I have a ghost right now, though, in my house. Full on.
Really?
Mhm. Yep. I've been away for a couple months
Okay.
on the road.
Yep.
So it all started when I moved to LA.
Hold on. Did you guys both go on the road together? Or
We were separately on the road, but then I
Okay.
went and met Mike in Europe to see a show and like travel around for a minute. But we were separately.
That's so cool.
We were on the road separately.
Okay.
But like when I moved to LA and I was getting out of like
Dun,
a
dun,
crazy
dun.
relationship,
Ooh, energies were high.
I had and it was like everything was burning around me, and I had a friend bring a shaman to my house in New York who did this like amazing cleansing thing for
Yeah.
me. And it changed my vibe so much. And it was the first time that I believed in that kind of energy work. I was like, oh my God, this actually shifted me from feeling like totally spiraling anxious to like calm, and I could actually move on. That was the
Yeah.
first time I ever believed in that kind of energy stuff. And since then, moving out, of course, then I moved to LA and I'm like surrounded by it. And so many of my friends
By shamans or by
energy work and
Oh.
crystals and healing and recovery
I'm
vibes.
seeing my shaman tomorrow,
Oh,
baby.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm in it.
I want to hear about it because one of my dearest friends regularly goes to all of these different healing people. And one of them is this amazing chiropractor named
Mhm.
Dr. Emmy. Shout out Natalie for connecting me with Dr. Emmy, who's totally like holistic chiropractor. So like Western medicine practice, but then also infuses all of this energy work. And I went to see Dr. Emmy for the first time, and she stopped at one point and she just goes, I think you have an entity in your house. And I was like, no, that's scary. That's so scary, because I live by myself.
Yeah.
And I guess I immediately just believed her because my animals, since I moved them into that house, act fucking weird all the time. My cat definitely sees things that aren't there, and my dog doesn't like the house.
Whoa.
Like my dog doesn't want to be in that house. He feels
Yeah.
weird in that house. And after 2 months of being away, I came back. My dog was not in the house. He was like staying on a farm up in Washington State, and I brought him back to the house. And last night we were sitting in the house, and I'd eaten an edible, and he was just sitting next to me shaking. And I was like, there's something in this house.
Yeah.
There's something here that my dog doesn't like. And my cat can just deal with it because he's basically, like a demon himself. So
Yeah. Have you thought about
But-
getting someone to come in?
I want to ask you about it because
Ooh,
like
okay.
I should obviously, right?
So I see this wonderful woman, Florina medicine woman, and she we did a cord cutting ceremony together,
Okay.
which was also very life changing.
What's the name again?
Cord cutting?
Cord cutting. Okay.
Yeah, so we did a cord cutting ceremony. Her and I have done root chakra work. We were doing some work, and she was like, she's like, yeah, my guides are telling me that like your root chakra is super blocked. It's like almost kind of sick down there. And I have endometriosis. I've suffered from so many pelvic floor issues, all that shit. So I was like, okay, cool. Since I've seen her, my endo has been like 50% better.
Whoa.
That's a lot better.
It's a lot better. Like I was debilitated. I'd be debilitated for at least 2 days. And now I can like function. So that's great. But she does do cleansings. So I can talk to her to come in and cleanse your home.
I think I need it.
Yeah.
Because I'm planning on moving out relatively soon anyway. And I would
You
love
don't want
to
that
not.
thing coming with you.
That's right. I've seen all the movies where shit
They
follows
attach.
you. Yep. It attaches. And I feel like this, like, there's definitely something there. Something's
Yeah.
going on. And like, it's not that I can't, I've been there for 4 years. I can totally function around whatever it is, but
It's still there. You can
there's
still
something
tell.
there. Yeah. There's some like weird something there.
You know, the fucked up thing too is
And I
when
don't
she
think it-
moved in there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the dude left and moved out in such a haste that he left most of his belongings there, which then became her belongings as well. Like when
That's
we walked in there and I looked around, I was like,
wild.
why is all his shit still here?
So much furniture.
What happened?
He just needed to go real fast. I don't know exactly why.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean, I do. No. I know. He was like,
He's in the desert. Do you know?
Okay. Oh, I know.
yeah, Shallow Valley.
Yeah, he's in the shallow valley
He's in the
having a good
shallow
time.
valley. No, Maddie had to move back home because of some family stuff. But
Okay.
like he just did have to go relatively quickly, and I relate because I've had to do that too. But there was definitely like when I moved in, the energy of the front house, the energy of the whole property. Like I think you felt it. Like there's something.
I kept my mouth shut because I'm not about to
There's a vibe.
say something about your place that you live. And then
But
I'm
I've
like,
talked
anyway,
to-
I'm going home. Best of luck.
So there's a weird attic. No, I mean,
Oh
yeah,
my
I definitely, I feel
God.
like I need some. I've done a lot of. I did have one person who I did like a phone call with where they were supposed to sort of like help me process a bunch of stuff. And she also said some stuff about my house just over the phone. So
Ooh,
yeah, I feel
I
like I need some
love it.
cleansing. It's not
Ah.
my burning, some sage or whatever is not enough.
I love anything spooky.
Yep.
Why not embrace it? It's just like anything else. My dad yesterday was like, because we were talking about this dumb thing with this boy. He was like, well, have you sat down and prayed to Jesus? And I was like, oh my God, Dad, no. And then I was like, I did ask my spirit guides for like advice.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same fucking shit, right? I
Yeah.
just prayed to a candle instead in
Yeah.
my room. So it's like, yeah, why if that can exist, this can exist. And there's so much that we don't fucking know. So why are we even sitting here pretending we know anything?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But you're not religious necessarily. Or like not a
I'm-
formal religion.
No, I mean, I'm Jewish culturally,
Okay.
right?
Oh, and so he said pray on it?
My
That sounds
dad
very
is-
un-Jewish.
My dad's Catholic.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Because my dad would have said something like, well, it is what it is. Like something
More
very
Jewish.
passive.
It is.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
The
I don't
entity
know.
is what it is. It's just in your house.
Fine, why don't you move? I don't know. Figure something out. Maybe if you had a wife, it wouldn't be so bad.
Do you know Steve?
Your wife would get rid of that entity for you, I bet, and fix your life.
Yeah.
That's-
I get Steve. Steve and I understand each other.
do you want to do tarot stuff?
I would love to do some tarot stuff. We do have to cleanse the cards.
I can't
Can we
open
cleanse
this,
them with weed
even though I
And we're
haven't bought.
cleansing them with weed.
I
I
keep
don't
trying to
know if we can
open
cleanse them
this.
with weed. We'll see how the cards react.
Okay. While we do
Getting
that,
high.
could I do the news story this week?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So it's called the Gruple Gazette. And every
Okay.
week we do a news story and we try and keep it fun and we try and keep it cool. And this week I think is cool and sad, but it also ties into everything we're talking
Okay.
about. So it is actually by the New York Times. I don't know how we feel about the New York Times these days.
I feel bad about the New York Times. I think they're like definitely on the side of the people who love money, and
Oh. Journalism?
I don't
on the
trust
side
them
of
as
that?
much as I used to.
Okay.
Yeah, the reporting on like law enforcement and stuff is so hardcore propaganda that it's kind of a bummer.
That's a fucking
I like
bummer.
propaganda.
Yeah.
I love it. I love a pun.
But they did. I will say for the New York Times cannabis beat, they did just hire a new full-time cannabis reporter who is a young woman who's been doing a fucking great job covering weed, and she's full-time on the beat of weed for the New York Times. So I'm excited
that's
to see what they
great.
do there. So
Nice.
yeah.
Well, this story is Elias Theodoro was the pioneer of medical marijuana in sports. He died at 34. He's a Canadian
Oh.
mixed martial artist, and he brought a cerebral flair to the ring. Here's why this is so cool. He is the first sports person ever to get the drug rules changed because he needed a therapeutic exemption to use marijuana.
Mhm.
And so he was the pioneer of weed being seen as, we should consider this as medicine when it comes to sports.
Yeah.
He's the very first person who has ever gotten that exemption. And then everything fell after that, whether it's like the NFL or the MLB or NBA. He was the very first. He died at 34 from colon cancer. But
oh my God, that's so
on September
sad.
11th is when he died. But he's just like one of those unsung heroes of the cannabis game that nobody really knows about, nobody really talks about. But it's because of him that everything beyond him in sports has been considered money going into funding for testing and people being exempt so that they can smoke some weed and feel better without opioids.
And that happened in Canada?
He's from Canada.
Uh-huh.
He died at his home in Woodbridge, Ontario, a suburb of Toronto.
And so the medical dispensation was from the Canadian government, or that happened in the U.S., do you know?
That's a very good
I'm just wondering, like, when
question.
the
It
rules
feels like
were.
a Canadian thing, I'll be honest.
I-
I don't think America would do that.
It's
Yep, he won approval from the British Columbia Athletic Commission in 2020.
Yeah.
wow.
And then a year later from Colorado, but
Okay.
Canada first.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, and so I don't know, it's just important to shout somebody like that out. And so shout out to Elias. I hope he lived a good life and he died peacefully, and I hope his family is okay. And also thank you for everything you've done.
What was his last name again? Will you say his full name?
Elias Theodoro, Dorou.
Nice.
Yeah, Elias. So shout out to Elias and thank you, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did he
Yeah.
just die?
September 11th.
Oh, yeah. Okay. This
Yep.
year.
Mhm.
Wow.
So never forget Elias either.
Never forgetting. I already forgot his last name. But you know what? Never forgetting Elias.
Theodoro.
Theodoro.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Very, very, very cool. Especially coming off the heels of shit like Sha'Carri Richardson and all that other fucking nonsense.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
Brittany Griner.
Brittany fucking Griner.
I mean, Jesus Christ. She's still locked up as we record this. She's still in prison in Russia. So
Insane.
it's fucking insane. And also just the hypocrisy of Biden talking about wanting to get Brittany Griner out of prison in Russia and then failing to address any of the shit that's going on at home after he campaigned on getting people out of prison. Like, that's just fucking infuriating. And there's no one really holding his feet to the fire right now. Like, I feel like that's something that like all the mainstream outlets like the New York Times reporting on Brittany Griner, they're not also saying, and what about everyone else in the US?
Yeah.
So
Oh, that I feel like that for me is something that has like really made me sad and angry of like all these states are now passing to make weed legal or medicinal, whatever it is, but there's still so many people incarcerated and nothing's getting done.
nothing's getting done.
A lot of people are taking up the idea of we've got to make change, and then somebody will actually do something and be like, see, like I said, you must have heard me say it. Like, you know what I mean? There's a lot of like
Right.
stolen valor in
Yeah.
the getting people out of incarceration community. A lot of stolen valor. It's bullshit.
It's a tricky space because I think for so long it was just like weed itself, right? It was just like all of these tiny little sort of underground organizations and networks, just like your local grower and your local dealer.
Yeah.
It was like your local nonprofit, and all trying to sort of operate. And now that they're all sort of like bubbling up to trying to get national prominence, there's a bit of sort of like push and pull of like to see like who's gonna get the the funding and the acclaim and stuff. But it is cool because there are all sorts of new laws that are being pushed through, or not pushed through, but presented to Congress. One of them is this new bill called the SHIP Act that would actually support small growers and local businesses and stuff. And like I think the feds are taking more notice of like the local issues too.
Great.
Yeah.
I almost
Yeah.
picked a news story that is I think Colorado made almost $1 billion in sales this year.
Wow.
$1 billion in sales.
In
So
legal sales.
In legal sales.
Like they're not counting the legacy market,
Yeah.
right?
So
Yeah.
like the idea of something like the SHIP Act where you can like do interstate commerce would help everybody. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's not like they sold out of weed in Colorado. Like I bet they still have a little bit more
Yeah.
that somewhere else could use.
Yeah, I mean, there's a glut of legally grown weed in places like Oregon and California, and that's why the prices are in the tank, is because they all of a sudden have too much legal weed for
Yeah.
the amount that people are able to buy, because there are not enough dispensaries. It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Get into all of it.
Do you know anyone who got arrested for weed or anything like that? Where'd you grow up?
Minneapolis
Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't
and
imagine
Boston, so both places.
it. Okay. I don't
But,
imagine it was anything
I
too
don't
crazy.
think I've ever known anyone who's like gotten who's gone to jail for
Yeah.
weed.
I didn't, until I moved here, I didn't know anything about it. Whether I was in Chicago or St. Louis, it wasn't until I moved to LA that I really learned about like how many people are in prison, why they went to prison, why they're still in prison. We had a woman, we just saw her this past weekend, Stephanie Shepard. Shout out Stephanie Shepard. She went to jail not selling weed, not being a part of any of it, but as someone who knew someone that made her go to jail on some fucking bullshit technicality.
Yeah.
And she got out, and now she's like, yo,
But
this
she did
is what
10 years
happened
in
to me.
federal prison and lost like
Oh my
her entire
God.
business and life. And it was fucking crazy. And she was in prison, and we had her on the podcast, and she was talking about how crazy it was to be sitting in federal prison watching someone on the news talk about how great their weed business was doing, their legal weed business. This white woman saying business is booming. And she was just like, what are you talking about? I'm in jail for the thing that you're currently on TV talking about how great it's going for you. So
that's like,
it's something that I think we can continually highlight to make people understand, because I think otherwise people just don't really get it.
It's easy to just kind of ignore it when you're going to your fancy dispensary in WeHo to, smoke at, whatever. And
real talk, we're smoking Jay-Z's weed right now. Monogram. This is the first I've tried it. I fucking love it.
It's kind of nutty.
It is a little bit nutty.
It's a little spicy, a little nutty.
I like it. But also, Jay-Z is in the game. So
Jay-Z also, I feel like too, well, I think a lot of this lies with the actual companies. This lies with Jay-Z. It lies with, these companies that are profiting so much money off of this. They should be in front of this shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they are in some cases. There are definitely some companies that are doing better than others, and then they're the ones who just kind of don't care. But
The last thing that was on my mind as far as this story is concerned with Elias and how he kind of like broke open the barrier for cannabis in athletics is there's a guy named Tua, and I'm just gonna like shout him out.
Yes.
Do you all know? Did you see what happened yesterday?
The head injury.
Did
what
you see
happened
the
yesterday?
second one?
Yes.
Yeah, the second one. Are you familiar with this story? I don't want to go too into detail. You can Google it if you want to see the videos, but I will say, like, warning, these videos are super fucked up. But he got nailed in the head.
Yeah.
The doctor called it a back injury. So he went in this past Sunday after the back injury on Thursday. And he got hit so hard again that he convulsed and his hands like looked like they were in the movie Hereditary, like being possessed.
Oh my God.
It was so fucked up. And so this is bringing up the conversation of CTE and things like that in football. And yet again, I'm just going to say, cannabis has had a pretty fucking sick track record when it comes to like CTE and arthritis and all of these problems that people, when they retire from football, are fucking reckoning with for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
So shout out to Elias again, and hopefully more studies come out on things like CTE, because this really seems to help people not have psychotic breakdowns where they murder people, which is also what happened in the NFL.
Yeah.
Wow.
And in wrestling too.
And in fucking wrestling.
Yeah.
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 Oh, that was Benoit, right?
Yeah, Chris Benoit. Yeah, I
That was
remember.
Ooh.
People be crazy.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah, but
Fucking
you could
nuts.
just smoke a joint and things would be okay. At least a little okay.
Yeah, it definitely helps.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you for that soapbox moment. I've just been thinking a lot about, as I got a couple concussions growing up playing hockey, where my eyes were two different, the pupils were two different sizes, and my mom and dad had to wake me up every certain amount of time all night to make sure I wasn't gonna, because I guess if you sleep too long you can die when you have concussions. And I was like 15, 16 years old, like, a little baby brain. I didn't have cool wrinkles in it yet, like, so it's
You're
real
just
shit.
Smooth little baby brain.
Yeah, it was the smooth, like a little
smoothest.
like a seashell that's been under the water a long time. You could skip my brain like a stone. It would probably do 17, 18 skips.
Little smooth baby brain.
Do you want to smudge your cards with weed?
We gotta smudge it. Hold on.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, wait. Where's my... Here we go. Oh, nope.
Did you bring your cards for the pod, or did you bring your cards because you... Say it on mic, please.
I always bring my cards.
That's so awesome. While you light that and smudge, I wanted to say to you, Mary Jane, and ask you, Jenny, is this a Celtic cross? That's my background on my phone? The thing you were just talking about? Oh, that's such an awesome smudge. For everyone listening, instead of watching our YouTube, she is inhaling a joint and then blowing it all over her very cool looking tarot cards.
So let me talk about these cards. I forget the artist. My back hurts. Okay. So I like to collect cards as well, just for like the artwork. Because it is like it's actually a really interesting podcast that I think like some like New York NPR put out. But just like these are all like little tiny pieces of art, right? And we're just like, oh, whatever, it's a card. But it's 78 pieces of art, right? So I like to collect them. This one is I think it's called like the Badass Women series. So it's like it's all female based and femme based and like, you know, just cool cards. And this card has been pretty mean. I'm not gonna lie, this card's kind of a bitch in this deck. So
this deck is mean to you?
This deck has been like kind of mean to me. Like it's very just like fucking get over it, bitch. Like that's the deck.
The deck for
is
me.
like
a lot of like Nine of Swords kind of vibes.
Oh yeah, a lot of Nine of Swords, a lot of reversals where it's just like ugh. So I'm gonna preface this. I'm a beginner, okay? I'm learning. There's so much that goes into reading cards. It's astrology. It's numerology. If you want to believe that shit, if you want to believe any of this, there's fucking pieces of paper. Who gives a shit? So, you know, anything can be changed, right? So, I just like to preface that, and that if you're listening and you're like, oh, she's so off on that reading, fine. We're all out here trying. You can, if you see something different, please comment it below. But we can do so. Okay.
I think they should pull a card that says "chill" on it.
Chill out, bro. Is there something specific you want to know?
Lead the way.
Oh, didn't I do your tarot? I did your tarot.
I avoided it when we were on mushrooms.
Did I not do it?
I sat there quietly and enjoyed everyone else's, and by not speaking up was hoping I'd get skipped over.
Wow. Some cactus in the background vibes there.
Yeah.
They were like, why is Mike wearing that lampshade? And I was like, what?
Why are you holding your arms up like that, Mike?
Is there something you would want that you're like interested in knowing?
Yeah, for sure. What's the best kind of question for this? Is it something practical?
Go shuffle it and get your energy on it.
Oh, okay. Ooh. It's a very sexual card deck. Right.
You can turn them around, you can reverse, you can do whatever you want with these cards. You just out here living your best life, whatever you want to do.
This is a first.
I don't know what would be like a good thing for you to
Is the better
ask.
Questions open-ended ones, or is it yes,
not
no?
so much yes or no.
Got it. Okay.
Right. If it's a yes or no, we could do like a one card pull.
Well, I want to keep it short no matter what, because I want Mary Jane to do one, and I'm sure that you could, talk about me forever.
Forever. I see you trying to blend into the background, Mr. Cactus Lampshade guy.
Hat pulled low. So I should ask a yes or no question.
I need a yes or no question. I need to be over very quickly.
No.
Can I tell you why I worry about this kind of stuff?
Yes.
My mom, Wendy, has gotten her palm read and tarots and all these things her entire life. She goes to a psychic in Missouri.
Yeah.
And she has always said to me, if you would like to experience it, we could go together. I guess that's like a mani-pedi for a dude and his mom or something, is a tarot reading.
Yeah, that's nice.
And I've always avoided it because I've always worried that if I hear something like this, I might believe it. And I want so much free will and freedom that I don't want anything to sway me. And so I'm always scared to hear something that might knock me out of my river.
I get that. I think that the important thing to know about cards is that they are not future predictors, right? They are exploring things you probably already know and giving you more insight on things. And kind of like, you can see like where you've come, how far you've come. Maybe there's things that you know that you're ignoring. And then the future things are usually just like, this is a possible way it could go. Okay. Right? It is not, if you, because the card's like, sorry, a lot of times you're like asking for advice. If you follow the advice, this could happen. Like I don't think it's meant to be taken fully as like future cards.
Okay.
However, I did get a reading recently by someone, and most of it has come true. And I get my cards read a lot by a fellow comedian, Karen Rontowski.
Uh-huh.
Do you know her?
No.
She's a tarot reader, comedian, and a ghost hunter.
Hell yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, she's dope.
Is she single?
Is she single?
I might want to date her.
Yeah, you should date her. We should all date Karen.
Yeah.
She takes one step into your home.
Yeah.
She's like, oh no.
But hers, I like hers because hers are very fun, no bullshit. She's like, I'm a comedian. Like, so it's like a level of trust already there.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's just whatever. So, okay, let's just
So what do I do?
try it.
Okay, lead the way.
What do you want to, what do
So
you
ask a question out loud.
Yeah, the people want to know. What do you want to know? You looking for like what's coming up in the next 3 months? Like
Yeah, that's exactly. I'm looking towards the end of the year. I'm trying to figure out
Okay.
the end of my year.
Cool.
Okay.
So am I going to do something I'm incredibly proud of that has been a dream of mine my entire life by the end of this year?
Wow.
Okay.
Is that a
okay.
good
That's
question?
a lot of pressure. That's a lot of
I don't know if I'll
pressure.
be able to answer that, but sure, we're just gonna use this.
Should I make it more simple?
We're just be like, what's coming up in the next few months?
What's coming up in the next few months?
There you go.
Am I going to win life?
Wow.
Will I get a gold medal for 2022?
I can't
Okay.
touch them on the way back.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
You have to,
So,
yeah.
Okay. All right.
How's my month
So we
gonna
have
be?
our.
This is
we're
why I hit. This is my Mateen playing music on mushrooms moment. You all would have hated me on tarot.
All right, so we're gonna do just simple 3-card past, present, future. Okay,
Oh, I love
just
that.
to get an idea in a sense. And if we have to use clarifiers, we'll use clarifiers.
Okay.
Okay. Past is the Moon card, everybody. Currently is the 6 of Pentacles. And your future card is the Ace of
Ooh.
Pentacles.
Okay.
Which is a very good card to have coming up,
Mhm.
Great.
especially in your
Great.
future position. So the past card, the Moon card, it's a card of intuition, a card of like secrets being revealed, going inward. It can also be a card of like maybe you're going through something like depression wise, or like that, you know, you need to, it's like basically like while the sun illuminates the brightness and the joy, right? The moon illuminates kind of like the darker or shadow selves, right?
Super
So
past.
perhaps before this time, you were going through this kind of shadow work, figuring stuff out for yourself, some intuition, figuring out kind of what you want in your life. And also, too, it's a very nice image of a woman with her butt out in the water,
Mhm.
right? So she's being illuminated by the moon. You have these 2 towers in the back. They have some kind of religious symbolism. I don't fucking remember, but
And do they sell those as single cards that I can buy just individually?
no, you just want this one card of a lady's butt. Is that what's going on?
That's what I was
I
wondering.
jerk off to tarot cards.
That's a whole new, very specific custom porn.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so currently you're at the 6 of Pentacles, all right,
Uh-huh.
which is we got this. It's about balance, but also like give and take, right? So right now you might be in this place of your life where you are. There's probably like good work coming in of like that is. It's a time of like giving, like so you also might be like giving yourself of your work, because Pentacles deal with like finances and financial and kind of like our earthliness, right?
Okay.
So what I'm reading is that currently right now you're going through this phase of like maybe you're being more charitable, like you are giving away a lot of, you know, it could be jobs, it could be helping people work, it could be like giving people comedy ideas, like whatever it is. It's like you're at this very successful and also like charitable part of your life, but it's also just like kind of the darker side of it is make sure that there is the balance between giving and taking.
Got it. Okay.
Right. So that's what's going on now. I don't know what's going on with you if you're having that vibe of like,
You're 2 for 2, Jenny.
oh, sick, dude.
You are 2 for 2.
Now, the Ace of Pentacles in your future, this is a great card to have. Aces are great. Aces are starter cards. So it's like everything in the tarot is a journey, right? So from
Okay.
the Fool to the World, it's the Fool's journey is kind of what the tarot is. And the big cards, like the Moon, which is a major arcana, and I'm just giving you guys a lesson. Major arcana, this is big life changes things, right? So when we see a major card, it's like a big message. It's like, oh my God, you were going through such shit
Yeah.
in the past. Like, whoa, you really were going through it. The minor arcana are more like kind of everyday things, right? So what I'm seeing coming up for you with the Ace of Pentacles could be a new job coming in. It could be like you're going to start a new career or a new project of some kind, something that's going to bring in some financial stability to you. It's also like the start of new ideas, right? So you might in these next few months for you till December. Again, I get high and I don't like words. So
There's so many of them to choose from.
You might be starting some new projects, which is great.
That is great.
Right? I don't know what the projects are. We can do a clarifier if we want. Ooh, you have a choice coming up.
Oh shit.
Okay. All right, so you have the Two of Swords, but it's reversed. Okay.
That's not good.
So it's not good. It just means energy's blocked. So like it's telling me that like you're probably gonna have some kind of choice you're gonna have to make. That's like okay, it's either gonna be this or that kind of choice.
Got it.
Right. So it's not balancing two things, which
It's a big choice.
It's a big choice, right? So you're probably gonna be faced with some kind of choice coming up. And with the energy blocked, I think it's just telling you to like be more mindful of it, like really pay attention to what kind of like look at it from every angle with that choice. And we have a sword suit, so we're dealing with the mind, mental things.
Okay.
Right. So it's very mental. But then you have the 9 of Cups. It's in the reversal again.
A double reverse.
But the 9 of Cups is a really great card of like they call it like the wish fulfilled card. So like kind of getting everything you want. I feel like it might be something of like you're making these choices and that's coming up for these new projects. Make sure that they're what you want, right? Like really make sure that this is.
And is there an energy block between that ace and that one? And that's what I got to unblock so that I can get everything I want? Because that sounds great.
Probably.
Yeah.
Sure, let's say that.
Okay, great.
Interpret your own thing, whatever you want.
That is so good.
But yeah.
Cool.
But it's again, this is stuff that you probably already would know. Like, sure, of course, projects are coming up because you're a working comedian with positive vibes and you're bringing the energy in anyways. It's just telling you to like be careful or like be more, pay more attention to something or whatever it is. So it's stuff you already knew. It's not spooky or future,
That was awesome. Thank you.
but also spooky.
Also spooky.
So
and also
spooky.
the future.
And
also
eerily
fucked
accurate
up.
as far as like the bits and pieces that I know just from hanging out with you.
Yeah. Stop.
I'm a scary ghost. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, I have to blow on the cards again. To
Okay.
cleanse.
As you
cleanse
do
your
that, I will say 3 for
energy.
3. I think
Cool.
that the cool thing I just experienced, because I am pretty fucking stoned now, as you did that, was like my brain is so cluttered all the time. So to just like sit there and make direct eye contact with someone who is speaking at me about me is so easy and nice to listen to because it helps me like focus and unpack the things that I really should care about because they're big things.
Yeah.
I appreciated that.
Yeah.
That was also a very sexy smudging. It was like
you.
really beautiful to watch that cloud of
I'm
smoke.
sure there's probably like actual tarot readers who are just like, what the fuck is she doing? Oh my god!
No way. They're all
But-
gonna start doing it themselves.
I mean, look, if this keeps becoming accurate with the weed smoke, I'd much rather be
Do that.
doing that
Yes.
than knocking on the cards.
What if it turns
Right.
out my big choice is if I should get chicken on nachos or not? And
that might be the big choice?
and then I get chicken and then my life becomes amazing
if you got chicken,
on nachos.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
On nachos or chicken or nachos?
what?
I thought that was the choice.
Whoa. Oh, I would never choose just chicken over a nacho.
Oh, maybe
Who
it's
would?
chicken tenders though.
Oh.
They're like really good, like hot chicken tenders.
Yeah, big and crisp. Yeah. Damn. Okay.
So we're all going for chicken tenders
Yep.
after this. Great.
All right,
Okay.
so hand it to me how you want it.
Okay. I'm gonna say my question out loud too, which is, what's coming up for me in the next 3
Okay,
months?
what's
'Cause
coming up
that's a good one.
For you in the next 3 months. So,
Yep.
all right, let's see.
Oh wow.
You got a lot of reversals. Sometimes reversals are just like a mistake, but we'll just read them as is. Do you want me to read these reversed or non-reversed?
Yeah. Whatever your intuition says.
My intuition says that you've got some energy blocks.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what I feel is why they're upside down right now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So our card of the past is the World card, and that's about a completion. So it's a cycle completed. But being upside down, it's telling me it's probably not completed yet.
Mm-hmm.
That was like a past energy if something's not completed. You still have to go through whatever lessons you're going to be learning from this. But hopefully the completion's coming. The King of Swords right now where you are, so court cards are really hard to decipher, but the King of Swords, so he, again, swords are mental, right?
Mhm.
So we're talking about our mental, and he's a master. the king is the master of his mental. Like, he is a straight shooter. He is cool under pressure. He knows how to use his words. But I think in the reversal, it could be a person in your life currently right now, right? That is maybe not saying the nicest words, or like using his words for harm, or he's very good at words, is being manipulative, right? So you might be going through this. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting. Again, court cards are super hard to understand, but I feel like right now you're probably going through this because this cycle's not completed yet. It's still in the past, but it's not completed. You're probably dealing with it could be some kind of like oh no, now I'm really high. Oh no, it just
is it
came?
the ghost in my house?
It's the ghost.
It might be the ghost in my house.
Which is like you're just dealing with this blocked energy of being able to think really clearly, right?
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. And I feel like that could be me in my own way too.
In your own way, like
on some level. Like
you
it might not
could.
be someone else. It could be me fucking myself.
Like are you going through this point where like maybe you're saying things you wish you hadn't said, you're not having mastery over your mental, your mental fortitude, or like how you're able to say things the way you want to say them. You're not communicating well. You're, maybe you're like getting stuck in circles, whatever it is. There's some kind of communication mental block.
I feel that.
Coming up is the High Priestess reversed. The High Priestess is about going inward, right? She's a lady who she knows. She sees through bullshit. She sees deeper meanings. It's a very spiritual card. Again, having it in the reversal, it makes me wonder if you're not being able to go as inward as you would like. Like in the future, you might want to, look at that and say, and figure out, maybe it's going back to your completion card. Like you have to, in order to get to the High Priestess, where you are like going inward and you are, getting that feminine power, it's you having to go back and complete some kind of cycle of some kind. I don't know.
Yep.
Clarifier.
That all makes sense.
Oh God, girl.
The tower. I know that one. Yeah, I got a tower. No, that's good.
Towers are great.
It's actually good because it means like full and complete.
It's like full
shift.
Complete shift change, and it's going to happen fast.
Yeah.
And it's going to be what you need.
Yep.
So
it looks terrifying, but I'm ready.
It's fine.
It's a bunch of people leaping out of a burning building for anyone who can't see the card.
Okay.
The Knight of Pentacles. Reversed again.
Wild. Knight of Pentacles. Is that about travel? That one could be. That actually think it's the Knight of Wands is about travel. But Knight of Pentacles reversed. Again, knights are the teenagers. So it's like they're messengers too. It's like a messenger of like some kind of job, or like could be work or some kind of creative idea is not getting to you. Right. But I think in the clarifier of that, the Six of Cups is showing up, which is a great card. It's a card of like good things from your past coming back, right? Yep. So in the future, I would say probably look out for someone from your past coming back to help you, make good vibes, good feelings. You're going to be in nostalgia a little bit, like really enjoying that. So I feel like, okay, you're going to go through this really big shift because we do have a lot of major arcana cards in this. You have a big shift coming.
Yes.
And I think it's telling you that like also your past is going to help you, right? Someone's going to come in, or something will come in and help you. So
I love it.
That's that. That
Fucking
is
cool.
Probably not accurate, but
I mean, check back in with us, please.
I will
back.
check back in.
Should we do like a top of 2023?
Yeah, but then what if it's like none of it happened? I got no job offers. Nothing bad happened in my life. I went inward perfectly fine.
Yeah,
that could happen.
Could.
Yeah. So there you guys go. There's the tarot.
Cool. Thank you.
I might just smudge it with weed now forever.
Yeah, that was really it felt like I can relate to every single thing that you just said. It felt very accurate. So yeah, I think the weed was a good choice.
Right on.
Yeah. And there's also like, there's so many levels of like the way the cards are looking and how they relate to each other. So I just gave you basic.
The fact that that's all held in your brain is like so impressive to me.
Yeah. What if I just like wrote scripts instead? What if I used all that power of listening to tarot cards? I just wrote screenplays.
Well, that feels like a good place to talk about your work and some of what you're doing and what you've been up to.
I'm trying to write screenplays.
Yeah. Screenplays.
I'm touring a lot, actually. If you're listening, when is this coming out?
We don't. It depends.
Yeah. We don't know. We don't know where we're on that. Soon.
Same.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's October. I'm on tour. Go to my website. Find out.
What's your website?
JennyZigrino.com.
There it is.
And follow you on Instagram.
follow me on
because that's a
Instagram.
fun follow.
Oh, thank you.
Not to be missed.
I do put up a lot of comedy
It's
and
fantastic.
cool outfits.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm trying to put together a new hour. I had actually did an hour almost a year ago. We're still waiting for it to come out.
Wow.
You filmed it?
Filmed it, funded it myself. Like
You did?
not myself. I clearly I got a GoFundMe, so fans donated. I had an OnlyFans, so fans donated. And then
And it worked
family-
out all to fund your album? That's so
Yeah.
dope. Way to
and
go.
a special with it. So, hoping that goes through.
I like picturing your OnlyFans being close-ups of your mouth in the
Just in the
microphone.
microphone.
Like real fans.
These are for the real ones.
Mhm.
No, my OnlyFans is like, it's PG-13, but it is like lingerie and like fun, like funny little videos. Like I just did one where I did a whole compilation of my butt at the Folsom Street Fair.
That's
Great.
really fun.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's just like a minute of my butt.
Awesome.
Right, and it was like $7. You want it? Here you go. Check it out. Although I do wonder if my OnlyFans is stopping my career from going ahead. But anyways,
Bullshit.
that's for another day.
Bullshit.
Yeah, but Disney's not going to hire me.
But you don't
What a
want to work
weird
at
approach.
Disney.
Yeah.
Do you?
What a weird. Hey, I'm going to tarot you.
I would love. Do you want to do mine?
Yeah, but can I do it from Phil Jackson's book 11 Rings that I'm reading right now?
What's that?
It's the best book I've ever read. Like, I think it's truly tarot for dudes, like sports guys, because Phil Jackson is the most winningest professional coach of all time. He also
Yeah.
coached Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Shaq, all of them to all their championships, more or less. He won 11 rings. He's the most successful. And his
God.
entire approach is thoughtful, mindful. What you put out is what you get back. Buddhism, meditation. Like, he leads through tarot,
Yeah.
these like goat athletes. And so for real, when you say, I wonder if it's stopping my career, my first thought was what I read from Phil Jackson today, which was from Buddhism, that was just like, if you put out those negative thoughts, they're going to run right back to you. And
I agree.
yo,
I fully agree. I'm very much into meditation and I'm going to say that some of that manifesting stuff is kind of MLM-y.
Yeah, for sure. The
What's that?
affirmations,
What's
that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Daily
that's
affirmations
okay.
or manifesting.
The affirmations are like, if it's just like, I am power. Like, yeah, of course, you are power. But if it's like, you just got to like think about the thing you want. And then if you for 1 minute, doubt it, then you didn't make it happen because you didn't think hard enough or think in the right way. And then go on my cruise ship for $4,000 and I'll teach you how to manifest correctly.
Yeah.
whoa.
Yeah, like that
Okay.
kind of shit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there is something to like you saying the thing, putting it out,
For sure.
and then also making a roadmap of the work to get to that thing.
Yeah.
I would say that like your tunnels lead to where you are digging,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if you're tunneling in on one type of thought, then you're digging towards the center of that thought,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like any other type of digging.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I will also say that, like, as someone who was in a very bad relationship with someone who took away a lot of my self-worth just by saying
Mhm.
shit about me that I never ever would have believed until that person who I thought I was in love with started saying crazy shit to me, and I started having to recover from that just by saying I am good at what I do,
Yeah.
or I am lovable, or whatever the fuck it was. Like, those affirmations were very healing
Yeah.
for me, and I needed those, and I'd never really believed in that before. But
I listened to Louise Hayes, who I love, or Louise Hay, whatever. But I listened to her, and she does like affirmations. I fall asleep to affirmations because, the different brain waves that you're at, help absorb information in a different way. So if you're
Oh, that makes
meditating,
sense.
so if you're in a meditative state, you actually have an easier time. If you're meditating on things, it's an easier time to rewire your brain and like get those things. So
Shout out weed.
shout out
we-
neuroplasticity. Yeah.
Exactly. And then sleep is like the best time for your brain to like be absorbing. So that's why they do like subliminal messaging and healing. And it's just like over time, it just starts to kind of get in there.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah,
It's kind of like you're putting your brain in a cast so
Yeah.
that the bone can heal.
exactly.
That brain bone.
That brain
That brain bone. Yeah, with your smooth little brain.
Yeah.
Your smooth baby brain.
I
They donate me to science. They're like, oh, no,
it's so smooth.
We can't do anything with this.
I can just picture you with that, staring at a wall with your smooth brain. There's just nothing there.
What's wrong with our son, doctor? He suffers from smooth brain.
Most underwhelming X-ray you've ever seen in your life.
What? No ridges at all?
Not a single wrinkle in this one. It's like Nicole Kidman's face. Is that too mean? Too big of a burn, bitch.
I just heard she re-upped on that AMC contract too. Yes, she did. That was news and like Deadline that she's like signed on to film a second AMC commercial.
Oh my god! Because the war in Ukraine was too boring. Okay.
Yeah. Can I say on the meditation tip, I did a meditation this morning where I met my future self, and my future self gave me now just some love and some advice about, you know, how things are going to. It was really nice. It was a Tara Brach meditation. Do you know
I don't know
hers?
Tara Brach. I would love to listen to her.
She's great. She's like, everything's free on all the platforms, and she just encourages donations, and her meditations are lovely. And that was a really good one. It was like, you know, so I feel like that's in kind of keeping with what Phil Jackson like. That's kind of like, I feel like dudes could get on board with that. Like, your future self tells your present self that you're going to be successful or whatever it is, you know? Yeah. It feels accessible.
It's so fucking interesting to hear both of you talk about this and me have to relate it to winning to be able to understand it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But like we are talking about the exact same thing. It's just a different context so that different beasts can hear it. Yeah. Yeah.
It's true. It's
truly.
Like you do have to alter that shit. It's the same way my dad being like, pray. And I'm like, stupid. Spirit guides, let me know what I should do. But no, like this morning I listened to one on forgiveness and trying to work through tough emotions of forgiving people. And, you know, the forgiveness is mostly for you, not for them, because I couldn't give a shit. But it's, you know, I mix it up with that. I do a lot of like letting go meditations, like letting go of expectations, because kind of once you let go of the expectation of something, it usually it's weird because I feel like it always works out, right? Like in my life, it's always worked out. When I've wanted something, I've always gotten it. And I don't mean that in like a bragging kind of way, but like I wanted to make it special. I paid for, funded, made, produced a $30,000 special in 3 months.
Wow.
I wanted to buy a house last year. I bought a house in 2 months.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? Like when I want something, I'm like, I fucking want it.
Late night sets.
Half hour. I do it. But there's been like some kind of weird little wormy in my brain that's just been like ruining my confidence and like my ability to do that. So I've been like trying to find the right meditations that help with that kind of shit, like more building from the inside versus like, I'm going to think about, you know, a new couch I want to buy, and I'm just going to think about this couch. This couch is going to come to me. I am already seated on the couch. Like they always tell you to put it in the where you are now. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm getting very high.
I don't understand that though.
I haven't been high in a very long time.
Oh no, it's so nice. This is what we love.
It's hard for me to understand that because you've achieved all of these things. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it is like my mentality. Yeah. But are you saying that you're not fulfilled by that anymore? So you're looking to evolve beyond it?
I'm looking to get to the next steps of things that I want. Yeah. Right? Like if I want to maintain what I'm doing, which is touring and performing comedy and making a living off comedy, I have to keep going up, right? Like I have to keep making TV appearances. I have to keep building social media. I have to, you know, do all these things. And I want an acting job that keeps me home because like I want to start a family. Like I want a family.
Word.
And I know that we were talking about touring earlier and like it is fun, but it is very hard to maintain relationships when you are gone weeks at a time and months at a time. Mm-hmm. So
touring is so new to me that it is so electric and fresh that I don't know what to do with myself now that I'm back here at home. Yeah. Because I'm like, oh my God, there's such a world out there and I want to explore. And you were telling me like credit card tricks and like how to like make moves on airlines. And I was like, this is a dream to like learn and be living right now.
When you get there, when that's like that next level, it feels so fucking cool. There is this feeling in comedy that you are now part of an elite force of like people who have been doing it, and then you get to go in the rooms and talk about it. and we all talk about like it is like that next level thing where you're like, okay, there's like more legitimacy to what I'm doing because I get to leave the state and I'm desired to leave the state to go do the thing that I want.
Yes. Well said.
Yeah.
Really well said.
Thank
Yeah.
you. It's my job to talk.
And now that you are a part of the task force.
Yeah, it's just, I love it. I still love doing comedy, but I really want to move into the next phase of my life. I'm 35 of like, I want kids. I want a partner. I want to find a person that I can give. Like I have so much love and incredible amounts of love to give, right? And it gets refilled on stage all the time, right? You just like, you get love. It feels good. And I'm just like, I want someone to like at the end of the night of a great show, go just fucking put that on.
You're
that
talking about my middle card right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? The giving is like, yeah, to everyone I love, and I'm filled up on stage. So your middle card, present card,
yeah,
you're fucking nailing it.
Yeah, and it's not even that like the stage doesn't need to be the thing that fills my cup too. I can fill it like just through friends and family and love and whatever. But you know, we are lucky that we do get to enjoy other people's energies because we're like little vampires.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, give me your energy. I love it. And I want to move into that next phase of my life that's like, you can call it traditional. I am a Capricorn, so yeah, but you know, I'm like ready to see like there's something to be on the road and having your partner come on the road with you, which is like so fun. So fun because it's fun to experience. Oh, fuck that. It's fun to experience all that cool shit. But like when you do have your partner with you that like is proud of you, and it also you get to like kind of spoil them a little bit the way like you're being spoiled because we live this most fantastical life.
Yeah.
It's just like so wonderful. And like so I'm ready for that part.
And you're excluding the best part of it.
What?
Hotel fucking.
Hotel fucking is the best
Hotel
part.
fucking rocks.
I love a hotel fuck.
Right?
2 beds. 1 bed's for fucking, 1's for sleeping. Okay, you get the double bed every time.
Heck yeah, 2 queens, 1 soaking wet.
Yeah. And that's not even the fucking bed. That's the sleeping bed.
Sleeping and eating.
Yep, that's sleeping and eating bed. Full of stains. I was just with somebody, a friend on the road, and they ate in bed, and I just at the end of the night they were like in bed, and I'm like, there's so many stains on your comforter right now of just different sauces. You're a monster. No, but it was.
Was it wings? Was it a wing situation?
I think it was like a fusion, some kind of fusion food wing.
Buddy.
Yeah.
Like you put a towel down for 2 things.
Yeah.
Both very similar on the bed.
Fucking and eating.
Yeah, fucking and eating. Exactly. And both look like period sex. Oh, ew. Is that too much? Was that awful?
Yep. Fantastic.
Yeah, it was. Please go away. So that's where I am is like, I'm at this new phase in my life, which actually we were talking earlier, the breakup I just went through with the situationship, and I use that phrase with a lot of disdain because I was in a relationship with someone who didn't value me.
Fuck.
Right? Who didn't value me enough to call it what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not gonna cry. So in being in that, I came out of that kicked so low that I had no other choice but to love myself, right? It was like, I don't know what else would make me feel better except this. And it's been the thing that everyone tells you to fucking do.
Mm-hmm.
And then you finally do it and you're just like, oh yeah, okay. It was the right thing. And that's led on to the meditation. That's led on to the energy work. That's led on to all that shit, which, you know, it just makes you feel better. So like, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the feeling of that flow of energy coming out of me going toward my ex because that person occupied so much of my brain and also was constantly pinging me on texts to constantly like just keep me on tenterhooks basically. And the second I got advice from a really good friend who'd actually just gone through her own fucking shit. And she was like, every time you feel that energy, just redirect it and give it all back to yourself.
Yeah.
And it was such a simple but not easy piece of advice, and it changed everything, because that was when I was finally able to like detach from that person and then do the things I needed to do for myself and to keep myself sane and safe.
When you say back on yourself, do you mean literally picturing that energy?
Yeah, I pictured it like
you?
Donnie Darko, like a full on column of energy, like coming back and then peeling my face open and stuffing itself into my mouth. Mm-hmm.
That's good. I mean, yesterday I was doing a little cord cutting sleep meditation. You have to imagine the person, and you have to like say, okay, I forgive you, I whatever. And then you see the cord of energy that connects you, and you like just fizz it in your brain. You unhook the cord and you just go, here you go. Thanks. Yep. I'm good.
Wow.
Don't need it anymore.
Yeah.
Spiritual belly buttons.
Yeah. Pretty much.
We're all
Isn't that crazy? Think about this. Your belly button is the entry to your system, to everything. Crazy. Yeah. And then when you go in it, does it feel weird?
Yeah.
In your body? Okay.
Mm-hmm. It like makes my balls tingle.
Yeah, it makes my vagina tickle.
Yeah, it makes my clit hurt.
Yeah. And then it's so crazy, it's connected to your sexual organs.
Crazy. Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow. Let's do Buds of the Week.
Yeah, let's do Buds of the Week. And I'm going to crack open some TSUMo because we have the new flavor of TSUMo Snacks, which I got and I haven't tried yet. So I'm so excited.
What are they?
Chili limon. This is they have the new 100 milligram bags.
Yeah.
So I'm going to
I'm going to be real. Yo, if you have a Hollywood Bowl-esque place where you live, bring 100 milligram bag of chips with you for like you and 6 friends. That is a perfect hang chip. That is a party chip. Put it on a bench during the summer. Put it in your picnic basket when you go to see a concert.
Yeah.
Just bring it to a birthday party or a Super Bowl event. 100 milligram bag of chips is perfect for like your small gathering with people that you love.
Whoa.
This new
How
flavor
much is
too.
a serving?
A bag.
There's 10 servings per there's like a handful of chips is 10 milligrams.
Mix it with your sun chips.
The fiery hot are fucking great. Salsa verde. There's also classic cheese puff. These are delicious. I would crumble them over some hummus.
I'm gonna try this. Pumpkin.
Ooh, chili limon is really good.
It's actually surprisingly got a really fucking good kick to it.
It's like a chili cheese Frito, which is one of the top chips of all time.
You know what I would do with this? Some 7-layer dip, and that's the topping.
Fuck,
baby.
Yes. Ooh, Super Bowl.
Yep.
I know it's a ways away, but I'm going to sumo my Super Bowl.
Awesome.
Go to sumosnacks.com. You get a free sample. Hook it up. They're fucking delicious.
Yep. And they just dropped a whole bunch of new flavors too with, I don't know if we can talk about it on here yet.
No, but we're in the know. Sorry about you.
I'm going to try it.
Yep.
Try one.
Hell yeah.
So good.
What if it's one long one? You pull it
So yeah, Buds of the Week is our segment where we
that is really good.
fucking delicious.
These
shout
are
out
weird and crazy.
What are those?
They're pumpkin tortilla chips.
Oh, I got to try that.
Oh, yeah.
Before we do Buds of the Week.
I'm gonna take a
or
few.
as we do Buds of the Week.
Well, I was going to explain what Buds of the Week was, and then I was like, no, Mike does it so much better, so I'm glad I stopped talking.
You don't want you want to do it?
You say what it is because
Buds
you're
of the
better
Week is when we shout out somebody who is a bud of ours who we want everyone in our audience to also fuck with. Maybe they have an Instagram handle. Maybe they have a TikTok. Maybe they have a book. Whatever it is, we're just shouting out, putting good vibes out there for other people to know about someone we care about or people we care about.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I negged myself on that one because I could have said that.
You could have nailed that.
I could have completely
You
nailed
totally
that.
would have nailed it.
And now you've stolen my power by
Wow.
making it about how much better you could have done
That's
it.
right. That's right, Mike. It's a constant competition.
Oh, I love these and hate these at the same time.
Right?
It's gross. It tastes like pumpkin pie in a tortilla chip.
Yep.
Okay.
Not into it?
Is it good that this one has this weird thing on it?
Yeah, they all kind of do.
The
They all
Jesus
have
face?
that. What is that? Ew. Oh, it's pumpkin seed.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
No good?
Against it. I don't like these chips at all.
All right. Well, I'm not going to eat anymore. Who's your bud of the week, Mike, or you want me to go?
I can pull them up, but I do have a really good bud of the week. It is so funny. I think we are in this world because when you said that we're all little vampires, the reason this is my bud of the week is not only because he's a comic, but he recommended an amazing vampire movie to me that I watched this weekend. So I'm going to shout out both. His name is Kyle Anderson. Follow him at Kyle Anderson Comedy. We have to have him on. He smokes hella.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's
Great.
have Kyle on.
Okay.
He has great shows like Kids in the Yard Show, and we were smoking at PuffCon And I was talking about how I'm just going to go get a ton of Taco Bell and then watch movies after this because I'm so high. And he goes, dude, you have to go on Netflix and watch the new Jamie Foxx, Snoop Dogg, vampire hunter movie called Day Shift.
Wow.
And I said, absolutely. And it is exactly what that is. It is Snoop Dogg and Jamie Foxx hunting vampires on Netflix. It fucking rocks. And the fight scenes are like nothing you've ever seen. It is like wonderful top to bottom. Especially because I love both those guys. So my butt of the week is Kyle Anderson, and my movie of the week is Day Shift.
Day Shift
On Netflix.
Good butt of the week.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That sounds great.
Awesome. My butt of the week is so I just went to Metropolitan Fashion Week, which was this thing in downtown LA at the LA City Hall, and it was very fancy. And my friend Margie McDonald represented Canada with her entry, which was inspired by an iceberg from Newfoundland, which is where she's from and where I'm from. And her dress was on this model who was like 1,000 feet tall, and it just looked beautiful and architectural, and it was really cool to like watch it go down the runway. The whole thing was very fancy, and Margie made the whole piece out of landscaping material. So it was just like the coolest wearable art. Hella
love it.
Yeah, it was structured and beautiful. I'll put a picture up when we post the app. And it was just so cool to see her represent like Canada. And she went down the runway with a flag, and it was just neat. There were a lot of fancy people there. So follow Margie. She's at Margie M Art on Instagram. Friend of the pod.
Love it.
Yeah.
Do I have to pick a bud?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna pick my friend and co-host of my podcast, Gaudy Positive, my friend Kat Eves. She is my stylist. She's also my friend, but she also is a stylist. She's amazing, got amazing style. She is fun. She is funny and wonderful and such a babe, and just like has a big, beautiful heart. And she's great. And I love doing the podcast with her. And she's also into ethical fashion. So like she knows a lot about like how our stuff is made, how we can get ethical fashion. And she's also a plus size stylist and plus size supporter. So like we're both like very much in like the plus size community and like fat positivity and like loving yourself and like all that shit. Like I'm staying away from body positivity because I think that what it's become is bullshit. But we're both like in that community of like, you know, every body is a beautiful body, and like and she's just great, and I think she's wonderful, and you should follow her at Style Ethic at Style Ethic on Instagram.
I can't wait.
She's great.
Can you say a little more about your pod too, please?
So we have a podcast called Gaudy Positive, and it's about people living their most weirdest, wonderful lives, right? So it's just like, you know, we had on our friend is a Tom Cruise impersonator, and he's like one of the best ones in the world.
Whoa.
Yeah, he's amazing. We've had on porn stars before. We've had on my friend who is a romance novelist. Like and then we just also talk about stuff. So we went to the Folsom Street Fair on Sunday, which if you don't know, it's like one of the biggest kink BDSM you know, LGBTQIA plus events in the country, and it's wild and crazy and weird, and I loved it and hated it and loved it, and also was just like, I don't know what I'm doing here, but it was great. And yeah, it just was we talked about that on the podcast, and we like talk about you know, social justice things, we talk about fashion, we talk about just like all kind of things like weird and wonderful, right? Like we did a whole episode on abandoned amusement parks.
Gaudy Positive.
Yeah, Gaudy Positive, baby.
Hell yes.
Yeah.
What are your other plugs? What are you into? What's going on?
What am I into? You can follow me on at Jenny Zigrino. TikTok is at Jenny Zigrino Comedy.
It's doing very well.
It's doing well. I'm happy.
It's doing well.
What am I into? That's the thing. So I'm trying to find out more hobbies because I don't have any hobbies. Really.
You don't have any hobbies?
Not really. Not that I don't monetize.
Oh, okay. I see. That's a good differentiation.
100%.
The one I do is like historical reenactments.
Okay.
And like cosplaying, right? But
is that kind of like LARPing? Is there like a
LARPing is live action role playing that tends to be fantasy.
Okay. Oh, right.
I love like going to a historic battlefield.
Okay.
And like, or like there's this place in Massachusetts, Sturbridge Village, which is like people are dressed up any kind of like little pioneer town, or like in Minneapolis, one called Murphy's Landing, right? That was like a whole pioneer village. Like I live for that shit.
That sounds
I love
really
it
fun.
so much.
I'll watch that screenplay movie.
You know that there's one here in Oak Glen or something. It's called Riley's Farm, and the guy who owns it, it's questionable. There's some problematic things, but it is a 18th century reenactment New England farm. You can go apple picking there.
Whoa! I don't even
like
know
an
what
hour
that
and a half
means.
away from here.
That's
Wow.
wild.
Okay.
You know an apple picking?
I've never done
Love apple
anything you just
picking.
said.
You've never apple picked or gone to a reenactment?
No, I've never been to Renaissance. I don't do that stuff. Not because
Why?
invite me.
I'll invite you. Let's go.
Great.
I need someone to go apple picking with me.
Deal.
It's really romantic. Are you okay with having a very romantic day together?
No.
Well, then you're not coming, okay? Because apple picking is always romantic, no matter who you're doing it with.
That's true.
You're picking fruit together. You guys are picking fruit
Oh, and it's all
putting
biblical and stuff.
yeah, and then it's like-
Oh,
and then
I
you're wearing
see it.
sweaters.
I'm
And
not
then
gonna
there's
like
a
fuck you
fire.
while we're doing it. It's just got romance vibes to it.
Mhm.
I see. I never knew that picking fruit was like date stuff.
Oh, all
it's
of
like
that stuff.
super date stuff.
Yeah.
yeah.
Hay rides.
Oh.
That's a date.
Yeah, it would have date. I'm not saying that it would be date vibes. I'm saying that if you were like, this has weird date vibes, I'd be like, yeah, because it's apple picking.
I see.
That's what apple picking is.
I was in a video once with somebody who will remain nameless, but it was like they were doing a like so and so does blank activity, and they asked
Yeah.
me to do one with them, and it was go to one of those like batting cage arcade mini golf places.
Yeah.
And it was in the middle of the afternoon, but it still had like weird vibes
That
because
has
we were
date
mini
vibes.
golfing together.
Oh.
Yeah. So I feel you. I can
That's
relate
date
to that.
vibes,
And I was
yeah.
like, I don't like this, and please don't ask me to do this ever again.
Look, we'll get a bunch of
Now we
comics
know.
together, then we'll definitely not have any fucking date vibes. We'll have fucking pieces of shit, bullshit people vibes.
I need people who are sneaking in tall boys
And being
and
weird.
being weird.
Do you just not like dates?
I don't like here's what I'm working on as we wrap up. I'm working on saying yes without immediately thinking no, and then actually thinking about if I actually want to do something or not. Because it's such an easy laugh to say no to something, because like denial is
Yeah, it's
naturally funny. But then it also stops me from actually like doing things in life, because I actually say no before I even know if I want to do something or not. So I'm working really hard to say yes more, and also say yes when I actually mean yes.
Yeah,
And those two things are tied together for me.
yeah.
Yeah.
And say no when you mean no,
100%.
right?
100%. Yeah.
Yesterday, my friend asked me to go do this thing, and I just didn't want. I just was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to drive there. Sorry.
Yeah. That feel
Yeah.
good?
No, it's scary.
Yeah. Super
It
scary.
was really scary
Yeah.
to say no.
It's so scary.
Yeah.
Well, let's all work on that.
Okay.
Yeah, we're all saying yes. This is the last 3 months
Yep. Saying yes.
are yes.
And also no.
Yes. And no. Also no.
Sometimes no.
And I'm going to take Mike on a date whether he likes it or
I'm
not.
passing. I'm not doing it.
I'm kidnapping you. You're going to be in the back of my Prius. We're going apple picking.
Oh, man. Well, I
Jenny
can't wait to hear
Zigrino,
about it.
thank you for being our VIB, our very important
Thank
part.
you. Thanks for
Thank you.
coming. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming.
Yes and
Thanks
no.
for coming. You guys can leave now.
Yeah. And please come back all the time.
Yes. I'll do
Awesome.
your tarot anytime. You guys call me. I'll get
I have a
spiritual
couple
for y'all.
I have a couple decks. I'll bring it next time. We'll like
I
do
love
some
decks.
messing around.
Oh, I love it.
Sick. Follow us at Weed and Grub. Leave a review on iTunes or Spotify or YouTube. We're on YouTube now. You can go to our Instagram at Weed and Grub to check out all those links. Go to the links in this description. Check out everything Jenny was talking about. And WG at weedandgrub.com if you want to email us, but I probably won't read it.
I'll read it.
There we go.
Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.